Welcome to ICANN, where innovation meets professional video production. Since 2005, we've been at the forefront of equipping creatives and professionals with the tools they need to bring their vision to life. From LED lights and teleprompters to PTZ cameras, tripods, and monitors, ICANN is the trusted name across television stations, production and corporate studios, educational institutions, houses of worship, and beyond. Introducing our revolutionary Power over Ethernet lights. Imagine illuminating your set without the need for traditional AC power outlets. These cutting-edge lights are not only powered, but also DMX controlled over a single Cat6 Ethernet cable. Discover more about our innovative products and how they can transform your production. Visit us at icanncorp.com.
What's next in wireless? Meet the Shure Microflex Wireless Next 2. It's a snap to set up, and it's perfect for all your spaces, like this, and yeah, even that. And with a variety of available mics, everyone can hear and be heard. So what's next in wireless? The all-new, all-in-one MXW Next 2.
The Radeon Video Wall Processor delivers large-scale visualization for mission-critical control rooms and command centers. It's modular and scalable, enabling users to create combinations of up to 64 screens from hundreds of inputs. Radeon supports video from all sources, including computers, cameras, IP streams. With Radeon, users can monitor and control numerous assets simultaneously across an open canvas. The ability to manage unlimited windows across multiple screens and drag and drop content in real time anywhere on the wall offers users maximum flexibility. The Radeon Video Wall Processor from Blackbox. Scalable, flexible, and secure for any control room or command center video wall application. Learn more at blackbox.com/Radeon.
The industry has evolved over the years. Analog to digital, isolated to network, server-based to cloud-based, but fundamental pains persist. Rolling out hundreds of rooms quickly and reliably is difficult, time-consuming, and expensive. Complex equipment frustrates staff, managers, and executives alike. The recent shift to hybrid offices has organizations considering replacement of outmoded systems. They're looking for simple, reliable, flexible, secure, and easy-to-budget video conferencing solutions. It's time for a totally new approach. It's time the AV industry met the Internet of Things. Introducing Conference Room as a Service, subscription-based products and services only from Wesco. A subscription that scales and works for your business. Together, with your preferred AV installer, we help you choose the right size system for your meeting spaces, small rooms, medium-sized rooms, and large conference rooms. Once you've chosen the size room you want to deploy, choose Zoom or Microsoft Teams and add options like bring your own device and a monitor if needed. Then choose how many rooms you want to add to your subscription. It's that easy. Once your AV integrator has installed and activated your equipment, your Conference Room as a Service subscription has you covered with advanced replacement, an industry-leading warranty, live 24/7 world-class help desk support, and a portal for remote monitoring and service tickets. With this service, all rooms are online and ready to go once connected to the network. It's never been easier to deploy, monitor, and evolve your workplace technologies, all at an affordable price with easy payments. Conference Room as a Service subscription-based products and services, only from Wesco. Simple, reliable, flexible, secure, easy to budget.
AVgear is the one-stop solution for all your professional audio-visual equipment needs and a modern alternative for selling, trading, or liquidating your pre-owned audio-visual and entertainment technology. Not only are we a leading national brand in premium pre-owned equipment sales, we specialize in helping businesses across the globe sell, trade in, or liquidate their used audiovisual and production gear with no hassle. When you have any pro audiovisual gear that's taken up space or not being used, or you're looking to upgrade your systems and update your technology, you don't want to deal with the hassle and the costly and time-consuming process to get things done. Whatever that scenario might look like, AVgear can help. Our team has over 50 years of real-world pro audiovisual and production experience, and we understand your needs and challenges when buying or selling your equipment. That's why it's so important to work with a company that truly cares about its clients and partners. And we work very hard to serve as if we were an extension of your own company, with your best interests as our top priority. Our business revolves around the buying and selling of professional audio, broadcast, lighting, cameras, projection, lenses, accessories, and so much more. We have pioneered revolutionary, flexible service programs to help you seamlessly reach your goals so that you and your team can continue to focus on what you do best while we do the rest. Regardless of the type or size of business that you are, regardless of where you find yourself with anything Pro AV, we can accommodate you beyond expectations. Whether you're looking to buy or sell your gear, trade it in, upgrade, consign, or liquidate, AVgear is your one-stop Pro AV equipment solution, helping you save time, money, and space while bringing value to you and your gear in every way.
We've officially reached the halfway point here at InfoComm 2024, but things at the stage are just heating up. Today's coverage, we've got Shure, we've got conversations about esports, we're talking sports in general in Las Vegas, and we're talking with our friend Linda Gedemer. We've even got one surprise from our conversation from our folks over at Sky Candy yesterday. A lot of great stuff happening today. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to AVIXA TV with Ben and I here back at the desk. Ben, as that Ben said, we're halfway through. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I think I've got about half my energy left, so that's probably about right. No, it's been good. So since our last show, we've had a chance to look around the show floor. We've had a chance to select some of our little features that we're going to do for something that we're going to bring up tomorrow's show. But it's been good. How about you? How are you feeling?
Same here. Whenever we get a break, it's really great to get on the show floor. If ever feeling a little sluggish, just go venture and look at some booths, and like everybody's just so excited and just talking. It's just a really great way to get your energy up by seeing all the fantastic AV that we've got here at the show.
Absolutely, and for anyone who doesn't know, we're sitting here in amongst it all. We're on the show floor. We've got a whole load of people watching us here, which is always great. We've put out the chairs. That's supposed to happen. They're not just gawking. So
no,
it's good.
They're not. And you always want to find the booths that have like those coffee machines or the cookies, the fresh baked cookies,
and the soft floors.
And the soft, yes, yep. You'll see me like just hanging around. Oh yeah, I'm really interested in this technology for like 30 minutes. Yes.
Yeah, talk to me some more.
Wonderful. Well, why don't we go ahead and dive right in? So up next, we're joined by Sean Bowman with Shure. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Wonderful.
And you guys know all the tips and tricks for InfoComm. I'm taking notes.
Oh, we do. We will talk after the show.
Yeah. Well, we said earlier, we were asking, how's the show been for you so far? And we're based here in the West Hall, but the Shure booth's actually in the Central Hall, right? So you've been going back and forth and back and forth.
That's right. The Shure booth is in the Central Hall, and then we have a separate room where we're demonstrating some of the latest software upgrades that you really have to hear and experience. And so we've got that separate space. And we're running around, we're meeting with customers, meeting with partners, we're having a great time, but we're certainly getting the steps in here at InfoComm.
Wonderful, yes. Take that Tesla loop now, the LVCC loop. That definitely will I'll save your feet a little bit. So let's just dive right in. So I know security is a large focus within the AV industry. How important is our considerations in security when selecting products, and why for Sure?
That's a really good question. Yeah, and there's a lot to know about cybersecurity in general. But when it comes to audio products, when it comes to Shure, we have, with our latest IntelliMix, MicroFlex ecosystem, and Designer softwares, updated the security protocols to the 802.1x standard. So that allows customers to have a little bit more peace of mind, streamline some of the login process for them to make it a little bit easier. But that's on top of the standard security protocols that are embedded with Shure products, as well as the encryption that some of our products have as well. So at the end of the day, you can have peace of mind with Shure products that this is cybersecurity is something that we're very aware of and that we're very dedicated to. We have a team of engineers back at Shure focusing just on this. And we understand some of the concerns with our enterprise customers, our government customers in this space. And we're always looking to improve and add more security to our products.
And that's embedded throughout the whole entire ecosystem of products with Shure?
That's right, yeah, at the endpoints with the microphones in particular, but with many of those products that I mentioned, with those IntelliMix DSP platform that we have, with the MicroFlex ecosystem, which is one of the things that we're most well known for, and a lot of those government customers are adopting, and corporate customers are adopting that MicroFlex system. That's where we've really made a lot of those cybersecurity investments.
Great.
Fantastic. And you kindly had a bit of a chat with us beforehand, and we spoke about one of the current goals at Shure being to make devices easier for customers to manage on a network. So can you talk us through the changes customers can expect to see here and the roadmap as the ecosystem expands?
Yeah, really good question. Shure might be well known for our microphones and our hardware products, but one of the things that we've announced here at the show and that we're beta testing with our customers is called Shure Cloud. And Shure Cloud is a platform where customers can monitor and manage their network devices, like our latest MXW system, Next 2, or our IntelliMix Room DSP system. They can transfer licenses and manage those there. So part of the reason we're doing the beta test here at the show is to get feedback from customers who are using those products today. They can add Shure Cloud to their current workflow and provide feedback for us on features they'd like to see, things that would help solve problems for them. And we envision for a system like this that customers who have multiple campuses, who have large systems that they're managing, that a cloud-based system like this allows them to stay connected to all of those devices and get better visibility and manage those devices over a large space. So you can imagine how that'd be.
And I think it's been a common theme as well with people that we've been talking to on this show about the ease of use. I think because there's so much sort of capacity and so much that you can build into a product, but if it's super complicated and you need a PhD to actually operate it or deploy it, then it kind of defeats the object. You have to spend extra money on training, and the deployment time is much longer. So that's the idea, isn't it? Making it as easy as possible for customers to manage those products.
That's so true. It really is. And Shure works with a really wide range of customers who are doing all sorts of interesting things with our products. And we want to make it easy for the majority of customers who are using them in their spaces to deploy and to use. And we think about that a lot, and we're very intentional in the design process, working with those customers to get their feedback so that it is easy. But at the same time, we also want to give the flexibility for that device to perform at the highest level in the most challenging spaces when it needs to. And so we think about both of those things in the design process, and we use the customer feedback to identify what those opportunities are for making those devices easier to use.
Good stuff.
So I haven't yet had the opportunity to stop by the Shure booth, but I'd love to just hear a little bit about what you have there and what can attendees expect to see. I hear that you have an innovation lab or so. Can you just tell us a little bit about that and what we would expect if we stop by the Shure booth?
Yes, absolutely. So the Shure booth itself has our latest hardware and software launches. You can speak with many Shure associates who were involved in the design process for those products. It's really a neat way to connect with understanding how those were developed and what they're capable of. We're featuring products like our new MXA 901 ceiling array, which is built off of the flagship 920 that maybe many of our customers are familiar with, but in a smaller, compact form factor. And again, that also has DSP built in, so it's really easy to deploy in a standard 20 by 20 space. Or you can add multiple ones for larger spaces and standardize on a microphone array like that. We're also featuring our latest MXW system, which is called Next 2. It's a 2-channel wireless system. Comes in multiple configurations in terms of handheld microphones or body packs or boundary microphones. But it's so easy to use because the base station is also the charging station for the battery that's inside. It's also the receiver for the wireless system, and it's got so many connections that we've really found customers have enjoyed being able to use that both for sound reinforcement in a presentation setting, but also for hybrid settings where they also need to stream to an audience. And then actually unveiled here at the show as well, and connected to that MXW system is our latest lavalier, which is the WL 183, 184, 185 lavalier system. We've made some nice improvements on that standard lav system that's been around for a while, but we've upgraded the audio quality for that, lower self-noise, higher dynamic range, in a smaller form factor. And so pleased to announce that at the show as well.
Excellent, good stuff. Yeah, and I've noticed your pin there as well with the classic sort of Elvis mic. I couldn't use that yesterday. I was dressed as Elvis. Yeah.
Don't get him started. We'll catch you up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know that we touched on this briefly, but it was the customer-led design approach, and we spoke about it a bit at ISE as well. Can you give us a bit of an update on that? Are there any developments, and what kind of customer-led design is to Shure?
That's right, yeah. Customer feedback is so important to us, and it's one of the reasons why we enjoy coming to InfoComm so much, is because we get to meet with our customers and understand their workflows and hear about how they're deploying those products and working with our partners to develop those solutions. Particularly, we've made some advancements in the software space, and that's one of you mentioned the innovation lab. That's one of the places that we're actually demonstrating some of those latest features, which will be available to customers in a few months with the latest updates. But one example of that is a new AI feature called AI Deverb. And what we found is a lot of conferencing customers are sometimes conferencing from rooms which have many reflective surfaces, and they're not necessarily acoustically treated. And those echoes can be heard on the far end. But with AI Deverb in the latest Shure updates, we're actually through AI removing that echo, whether it's in a small room or a large room. We're able to identify those sound characteristics of both the voice of the intended speaker and the reflections from the space, and eliminate those. So ultimately delivering better sound quality for the customer on the far end, and doing that, as you mentioned, in a way that's very easy for the customer to deploy.
Yeah, sure. There you go. AI infiltrating every aspect of technology these days.
Well, wonderful. So I know we're getting low on time here, but what are the things that you want to take most from InfoComm when you leave InfoComm 2024?
That's a good question. For me, InfoComm is all about the relationships. We work in an industry with great people, and we use a show and an opportunity like this to build relationships with our customers, our end users, to build relationships with our channel partners, our integrators, and also with our technology partners. This is something that we can't deliver the great solutions on our own. We work together as an industry to deliver that for customers. And so building those relationships, seeing old friends and meeting new ones here at the show is one of the things I appreciate the most.
Wonderful.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much indeed for joining us today, and I look forward to seeing your step count data as well at the end of the week. I'm sure it's going to be up there. But yeah, Sean, thank you so much for joining us on the show, and have a great rest of your show.
Very good. Thanks again.
You.
Yeah, pleasure.
No problem. Now it's that time again where we head over to join Mr. Ben Thomas in the virtual studio, this time for a conversation with Craig Frankenstein. Ben, over to you.
Well, hey, thanks, Ben. As you mentioned, we are headquartered here in the West Hall, and while you're visiting our friends over in the Central Hall and those Shure folks, we got a lot of other things happening in the Central Hall. One of those things is Esports Live, run by my good friend, Mr. Craig Frankenstein. Craig, thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Ben.
Now, Craig, for the benefit of the folks who haven't been able to go to the Central Hall yet, or maybe the folks that are watching at home, can you explain a little bit about what Esports Live 2.0 is this year?
Sure, absolutely. So back at Central Hall, giant stage, 6 competitive teams doing tournament gameplay all week. There's interviews, collaboration panels, and a lot of information and just culture of esports. You're going to meet the players, you can see the tech, you can see what a live esports tournament looks like, you can experience it.
Well, look, if somebody comes in, I know that there's been a lot of great programming so far. Like I said, this is day 2 of the show. Whether it's a tribute to a great friend, Brad Sousa, or a lot of great programming happening, what's been happening so far that people have seen, and maybe what are some of the things on the calendar that people can look forward to?
Sure. So I'll take you back yesterday when we kicked off with the ribbon cutting. It started with a really wonderful tribute to Brad. And Brad Sousa was instrumental in the creation of this program last year. In fact, it was a group effort between AVIXA and AVI Systems. And Brad was one who was all about the people. So he liked the idea that esports is something that takes technology and the younger generation and combines it to create human impact. And that meant a lot to him. So that was part of why we did it last year. It was a success. So the idea this year is let's go bigger. Let's bring more teams in. Let's level up the production. And that's exactly what we did.
Well, Craig, it's funny, this being year 2, there's been a lot of growth that's happened so far. You mentioned whether bringing more teams and bringing more eyeballs and folks over there. What are some of the successes that you've seen from year 1 going into year 2?
Well, the audience has grown. What we've done is we've enabled more and more individuals, universities, the folks who are part of that community. By showing it here, we're introducing them to the AV world. And that's what InfoComm's all about.
Well, esports is really kind of a gateway for a lot of folks into the industry for the first time, right? You and I had a chance to talk a little bit off screen where folks find their footing in the broadcasting side of things and streamcasting and even playing and things like that. How have you seen esports kind of be that gateway into our community?
Right, so I come from broadcast, that's my background. So when I first found out about esports, and Brad actually educated me a lot about what it was, and I understood the broadcast and the technology, but seeing the community and what it does at the collegiate level, bringing individuals in who might not necessarily be gamers or might not be on camera, there's a whole team of people supporting them. They're part of that community, they're interested in that tech. They might be gamers at heart, but they just want to be there to support it. So it's bringing all these individuals into lanes in a university or a college and helping them all the way through the edge of their career.
Well, so I want to ask, esports is obviously a topic of conversation every single year here at InfoComm. There's a lot of folks asking how they can get involved, whether it's a manufacturer from a product development standpoint or folks like AVI Systems who have an incredible voice in that community. How can people at InfoComm specifically kind of get involved in that world?
Oh, go to the esports booth, first of all, back at Central Hall, check it out. There's a bunch of people there and a lot of contacts, whether it's at the collegiate level, the manufacturer level, or the integration level. There's tons of opportunities depending on where you are and what lane of business you're in. There's a lot of opportunities to get involved and support that community.
Well, Craig, want to give you a shameless place to plug AVI Systems a little bit. You guys have been doing some incredible work, not only at the stage, but in that community as well. What are some of the things happening from an esports standpoint at AVI Systems?
Sure. So again, back to Brad Tribute, who sadly can't be here today, but Brad understood where that was going to go. He saw the vision of where it was going to be and the trajectory going up. So we agreed to commit to helping the universities, helping the individuals around the technology, the part that AVI does really well, to enable them. And we've even come in with other individuals who can help develop the program, the academics, all of that, to enable the universities and the colleges to get there. What do we do well? We do programming, we do broadcast, we do production. That's really our strength, but knowing that the outcome is really the human impact of the individuals, we want to bring the team together, help those organizations build those programs to enable that community and grow.
Well, Craig, I'll tell you what, I know there have already been conversations about what that looks like next year. Hopefully we see an Esports Live 3.0. Can you give us a tease? What can people maybe expect from the show next year?
So we said the same thing after last year. We asked, was it a success? We believe it was. There was a lot of activity, a lot of eyes on it, a lot of talk. This year we leveled up. We have more teams, more competitive gameplay, larger stage, better production. So at the end of this, we'll do the same thing. Examine, was it worth it? Do we go bigger and better? And if we do, in the production world, the technology leaps and bounds every year. So this year you're seeing a lot of live production. Who knows, maybe next year you'll see a little more AR, a little more XR. You'll see where technology is taking folks to, again, level up. Take the production you have, look at it, and if we're going to do it 12 months from now, what does that look like? Technology is going to take us there.
Well, Craig, there may be some folks listening and watching now who might have some questions about how they can get involved, whether it's from a sponsorship standpoint next year or maybe it's just from an industry standpoint. How can people reach out to you to talk with you about that?
So avisystems.com is the easiest place. You can get a hold of me. You can find me on LinkedIn. If you're here at the show, I would encourage you to get over to Central Hall, check out the esports stage in the back. There's a lot of individuals. There are a lot of different opportunities. The manufacturer partners have been fantastic, and I really want to call out all of the vendors that supported us, from New Tech Viz, Acusis, the list goes on and on. They were great because they recognized the value prop that we were bringing and the fact that we were helping the community, and they are all on board with helping us. So it was a joint effort between all of them. If they want to get involved, either head over to the booth or stop it or go to avisystems.com.
Well, Craig, I'll tell you what, I know you're probably going to get some LinkedIn messages and emails here soon because a lot of folks have a lot of great questions about esports. Thank you so much for your work, not only at Esports Live last year, this year, and going forward, but also as part of a member of the esports community. Thank you for your contributions.
Thank you.
Well, and thank you, Craig, and also thank you to our friends over at Yamaha. We had a chance to sit down with them. Check out our interview now.
I'm here with Satoru Nishida. He's the CEO of Yamaha Unified Communications. There's been some big news regarding their company recently, and he's here to unpack it all for us. Satoru, thanks for being here and joining me today.
No, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
So this has been a transition period for Yamaha Corporation of America. Talk to me a little bit about what's been happening and what excites you the most about the changes.
It's a very exciting time of the transition. So July 1st, there's going to be a new organization that's going to start at Yamaha Corporation of America. And we will continue to do the conference systems distribution businesses in North America. I think the excitement comes from the fact that we will start to work with a lot of other colleagues in the Yamaha Corporation of America that carries a lot of other audio expertise. You imagine university, you have classrooms, you have auditoriums, you have faculty offices, you have theaters, you have libraries, you have football arenas. And all these places, there are sound systems that enable and ensure communication. And Yamaha is a unique company that I think with a very exceptionally wide range of products and system components we're offering, we can provide an integrated sound system that can be installed and be interconnected together throughout that whole campus. You can do such things for example, for university, but you can also do that with any other kind of large, complex systems, it could be a hospital, it could be a public government institution, it could be a large hospitality business. And I think ultimately we want to bring such efficiency to the resellers and integrators that working with Yamaha, you have a one-stop solution for such a wide spectrum of sound systems.
And you mentioned that history that Yamaha has. Talk to me a little bit about how did you all come up with the products and solutions that you now offer, leaning into that history for unified communications in particular?
Yamaha is, as I said, is a century-long company. History is about, I think, has been always about polishing the technology. What the processor does is it detects human voice, it listens to it, it can tune the system dynamically so it can then only pick up the human voice and the speech that's happening in the space, eliminating noise and echoes and unnecessary audio from it. It's almost as if you have a virtual acoustics sound engineer in that location of your end user's facility.
Satoru, talk to me a little bit about the value that these changes will bring to the AV industry as a whole as a part of what's going on with Yamaha right now.
Such an intelligent system, as I described, is only possible when that quality is assured. One failure of a microphone or a component or a speaker transducer that can actually make the total system really fail and not work adaptively to the environment. In our headquarters in Japan, the size of the building of the quality assurance is as big as the product development building. So that is the amount of investment that we're doing towards keeping that quality to be assured. So that, again, when delivered, the products or the entirety of the systems will work properly and very accurately and very, very robust. We do have a policy of maintaining spare parts of any product for a very long time, even after discontinuing the product. So if something happens, we'll be able to provide the support so that the entire system, intelligent entire system will continue to work.
Well, like you said, Satoru, very exciting updates from Yamaha. Best of luck with this transition period. We know there's certainly a lot of work going on behind the scenes. Look forward to seeing you in both of the Yamaha booths at InfoComm here real soon, and best of luck with the show.
Thanks a lot, Mark. And I think it's about time we did another call out to our video production team and our content delivery team here. They are literally working non-stop while we're here, right?
Absolutely. They are working from sun up to sundown. We're still filming things in the convention center when all of you guys are out partying. They're here working hard. So really want to give them a shout out, and they are award winning. So kudos to all of those on our production team at AVIXA.
Absolutely. Now, one of the most exciting areas of AV tech innovation is the sports entertainment space. Great AV systems can truly immerse fans in the stands as well as captivating those watching at home. And so it's a real honor to be joined today for our Vegas Sports panel. Andrew Abrams, VP and Executive Producer at Vegas Golden Knights, and Justin Casserly, Senior Director of Game and Events Presentation at the Las Vegas Raiders. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
How have you found the show so far? Have you had a chance to walk around and have a look?
A little bit, yeah. It's a pretty impressive showroom.
And have you both been here before, or is this your first time at InfoComm?
It's my first time, yeah.
First time?
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Well, okay, so we've had a couple of first timers on the show as well, so it'd be interesting to get your thoughts afterwards. I don't know if you're going to stick around long and maybe check your step count, see any tips you can give to other first timers next time for keeping fresh on the floor. We look forward to hearing it. So if we just dive straight in, can you share a little bit about your roles in the organisation and how you got into the sports and entertainment industry?
Yeah. I'm originally from Western New York. When it was time to graduate from college and pick a career,
Video production was always what I wanted to go into, but my path took me to sports. Been in hockey for almost my entire career. I was with WWE Wrestling for 2 years, so jumped out of hockey, sports, and jumped back in. But really, it's shows like this are great because we get to see the latest and greatest technology, and we get to use those type of things in our everyday lives. And I oversee all the video production and entertainment for the Vegas Golden Knights, obviously the local hockey team here. And it's a great, Vegas is a great place to be, especially with conventions that come in town like this.
Yeah, and especially working with the Stanley Cup champions that you've got proudly emblazoned on your chest.
Yes.
So that's fantastic.
Yes.
And ironically, so I actually started with the NHL. So we actually met back when I started with the New York Rangers, Madison Square Garden. So I kind of had a bit of a career path plan. I kind of knew I wanted to get in sports, even starting back in high school. So I took on internships, different roles throughout college, and then landed at the Garden for an internship, which became a full-time role. So I spent 6 years there, and then started to develop as a show caller, understanding content creation. And then I went down to Miami at Hard Rock Stadium and did a lot there with the Dolphins, Formula One, Miami Open. And then when this opportunity arose, my wife was the one who found it. She's like, hey, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. What do you think? And so during the Super Bowl 54 in Miami, I was interviewing for this and flew out and decided to open a stadium during a pandemic and bring a storied franchise to Vegas. So.
And are you based in Vegas now, both of you?
In Henderson, yeah.
Henderson. So do you think your wife was looking for jobs that would advance your career, or was she searching how to move to Vegas?
She's very happy here. Very happy.
Okay, good.
Wonderful. Now, I've not had the opportunity to go to either of your stadiums, but yeah, just seeing what you guys are producing from at home, it's just magnificent. And so both of your organizations are using innovative and integrative AV technology. Can you just share what are some of the specific AV technologies that you guys are using to enhance the audience experience for them and your guests there?
Sure. So a couple of things that stand out for us. Our control room is set up with 2 raw security switchers, and it's something that we wanted the opportunity to have, and we haven't always utilized. But one of the things was even just last season we did a simul broadcast of UNLV for broadcast as well as the stadium show. And the 2 switcher system afforded us that, aside from all the other stations that we have. I think we're up to about 6 expression boxes right now or so. But that was also kind of evolutions over the course of these seasons and building up to the Super Bowl that we just hosted. So those have been some of the kind of key implementations of our control room. And then some of the other AV that we really hone in on is audio. That's something really important, not just for the overall fan experience, but also on how we leverage that into our live entertainment with top artists, top performers, and having a dedicated front of house audio team. And then some of the things too with PixMob and some of the wearable LED technology and how that just elevates the overall production value, especially in a venue like ours where we don't have the benefit like arenas and VGK of a lot of darkness, and even our primetime games still being with a lot of light around dusk time. So when we can have 65,000 wearable LED units and all in sync and time coded, it definitely elevates the show, especially when it is a primetime matchup or a key game.
Great.
Yeah, if you've ever been to a Golden Knights game, or if you just simply YouTube Golden Knights, our main thing is we're known for our show. We want to be a Vegas show on the Strip. So one of the things we utilize a lot is ice projection. A lot of teams do that. We use it to tell story. We use interactivity, and it tells. We really lean into our medieval brand. So our opens are always a knight facing off against a foe, and the foe happens to represent whatever team we're playing that night. And having a 200-foot video surface with these projection units really helps us tell that story, and it's really what we use to wow the crowd. And our team, shout out to them, every year we push the envelope a little more and more what we can do, and really the sky's the limit on the creativity with something like that.
Absolutely, we just saw some fantastic footage there streamed. That was the kind of thing you're talking about. That's an incredible experience, I imagine, for the fans. You mentioned, Justin, that sort of moving to Vegas and opening a stadium in the middle of a pandemic. I want to know how, if there's any thoughts you both have on how the pandemic influenced your approach to AV solutions in your facilities, and what adaptations you sort of implemented in response.
So for us, we're literally building the stadium. It was a design build project from the get-go, so it was always being designed while it was being built. Great feature on our YouTube channel kind of talking about that whole process, but because of that we were doing a lot of testing and a lot of font tests and weight tests and color testing, and it was all around just the different zones and the different boards, and nobody had ever sat in a seat, and we're not even intending to for another year because we had already officially canceled that season release, allowing fans into the building. So it was really just on us and our very limited skeleton crew that had the opportunity to get in the building to go through and walk around and see where is the best sight lines, where do we have obstructions, how's the audio here, does the black look black or do we need to convert to HDR? So it was a lot of just trial and error and troubleshooting, and really through the course of the season, what was a blessing in disguise was not having fans afforded us chances that I've never had in my career and probably won't, where we were making changes quarter by quarter, series by series, half by half, and it allowed us to see things, react to it, and switch things up, kind of allowing us to challenge the control room crew, see their capabilities with those quick reaction moments that do come up over the course of a live game, especially when you have fans and reacting. So it was just a lot of that trial and error over the course of the season, and literally we got to 3/4 of the season and we went from a traditional 1920 and we really wanted to test the bandwidth of our boards, which are pretty elongated, and so we completely changed the aspect ratio of our show between a Sunday afternoon game and a Thursday night game. Wow. And got coaches to come in and show some of those things, and so just to get their buy-in and support as well, and it really got us where we needed to be by the end of that season to have a better plan, and then we perfected it in that off season. When we opened to fans, we were in a much better situation because of that opportunity afforded, and even since then we've just continued to adapt and tweak and fine-tune.
It's interesting as well, and Andrew, we'll come to you as well, but just to say that it's not often that we see or hear the phrase advantages of the pandemic, but it's important to look at those situations to say where could we actually find them. And I suppose in both of your stadiums, was it the case as well that you were kind of gradually increasing the capacity of fans you would let in too? And if so, was that also allowing you to kind of test the facilities at, it's not just like 0 to full house, it's kind of like 0 to 25%, 50%, 75%. Was that an opportunity that was afforded to you as well in terms of testing the capacity?
We were a true 0 to 100.
Okay.
So we had nobody other than working staff, teams, and players, and that was when we were having provided tracks by the NFL to kind of create that crowd ambiance to kind of drown out the players and the coaches and stuff. Yeah. The most eerie thing I've ever done. Yeah. Is hearing almost play calling from the booth. Oh my goodness. But it was just, again, it was what we were all, the cards we were dealt. So we dealt with it, but then when we got to the end of that season, we knew we were going to start the following season, and I believe it was only 2 events that we actually had at the stadium. We had a DJ show, we had Garth Brooks before the first game with fans. So they were able to do it from a concert side, but it's a completely different production and situation. So we didn't really have that gradual from the sense of a game day overall, but at least from the production side, we got to go through a lot of trial.
One of the things I like to say is the pandemic was terrible for mankind, but it was really good for technology because you had to figure out how to do things, like you said, without people. And as we gradually got more and more people, your storytelling and your creativity is really tested, because it's kind of like if you're a comedian in a room of 4 people, or if you're a comedian selling out a stadium, jokes and things are going to hit differently. So you really learn really fast how good your team is, or how good you can react to situations in something like that when there's not a lot of people and all of a sudden there's people.
Yeah, definitely.
And then in terms of having not a lot to having a lot, what were some of the unique challenges that you guys may have faced when you were trying to bring a new fan base to Las Vegas? Can you share any lessons learned there?
The fan base in Vegas is very interesting because before our teams came along, there wasn't really traditionally professional teams. So we had to educate the fans, but not, we had to be respectful for them as the knowledge of fans, but without being disrespectful, and teaching them two sports, and doing that in a way where they're entertained, but also there's the information, but kind of it.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful. No, well, we really appreciate you taking the time. If you have any extra tickets that you want to leave behind, we will be more than happy to,
research purposes,
to take them. Yeah, it's
obviously.
only for research. Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much, Andrew and Justin. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, best of luck to all the Vegas teams for the rest of their seasons as they progress. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, up next, I hear Ben Thomas has some things he would like to teach us with Linda Gedemer at the virtual production stage. Ben, what do you have for us right now?
Well, absolutely. I'd be remiss, though, if I didn't take the chance to shout out some of the VGK technology staff. I'm a Dallas Stars fan, and I've got to admit it, but my favorite in-arena experience is here in Vegas, and I've got to shout them out and thank them for all the great work. But I'll tell you what, we've got some great conversations happening in the classroom right now with our friend Linda Gedemer. Linda, thanks so much for joining us on the show today.
Thanks for having me today.
You know, Linda, I want to ask for folks who may not be familiar with you or may not know you, what would you say your day-to-day looks like, and where's some of your expertise?
Oh, well, my day-to-day is lots of projects. I'm happy to be managing a fantastic team of people at Faith Group. So I'm both an AV engineer, but I'm also an acoustical engineer. So my work varies between those two. My project works go anywhere from museums up to airports. So really exciting, just cross-vertical of projects to work on.
Well, that's fantastic. Linda, the crux of our conversation today really is about the intersection of acoustics and kind of the architecture side of things, the build and design side of things. And I want to ask, what are some common challenges that maybe from an audio design standpoint, folks may not consider whenever they're either trying to install a system into a room or maybe trying to just build a system in general?
Well, one of the biggest issues that we come across in interior rooms is flutter echo or standing waves. And the problem with this is a lot of times we're going in, even if it's a new design or if it's an existing design, and this happens a lot in especially conference rooms, where you have these rectangular rooms with these perfectly parallel smooth walls. And what happens is you end up with a wave, an acoustic wave that travels out from the source, hits the wall, and then will come back. And the two waves, the outgoing wave and the reflected wave, will sometimes add constructively but also destructively. And what I mean by that is the wave will come back and a certain portion of the wave will add onto itself, and all of a sudden you'll get this rise in amplitude, but other parts of the waves will add together destructively, and then they'll cancel each other out. And so you can actually physically walk through a room and hear this phenomena where you'll hear it get louder, and then the sound will go away, and it'll get louder and go away. And this happens at a fundamental frequency and then multiples of that fundamental. So that's a real issue. So one of the things that you want to take a look at is, in new construction, is there any way that you can keep from building those parallel walls? Even adjusting one wall slightly by a certain angle can keep those annoying standing waves from happening. So another way is to treat the wall so that the wave doesn't get reflected and come back.
Well, Linda, I want to ask, obviously you talk about sound coming from speakers and things like that, but the same science applies to microphone technology, right? Does the same sort of design process apply for the acquisition of audio as well?
Yes, definitely. So, anytime that you have smooth parallel walls, this phenomena is going to happen, and it's going to affect how people hear the sound, how microphones pick up the sound, where you should be putting speakers. It really is the convergence between good architectural design, good acoustical design, and also good audio system design.
Well, unfortunately, whenever we're designing a lot of these rooms, we don't have the benefit of a structural rebuild in most cases.
Yes,
so it's
unfortunately.
A lot of times it ends up being a retrofit. And one of the challenges naturally is because you've got that existing space and you've got all the different wavelengths and things like that, it just becomes more challenging. What would you say some best practices are for folks who are looking to design system but have to do it maybe in a retrofit facility?
Well, in a retrofit, what we try to do is I like to always say, try to solve acoustic problems acoustically, not electronically. And standing waves is definitely an acoustic phenomenon. So ideally, if you can, treat the wall so that reflection doesn't come back. You want to treat it so that either the sound gets absorbed, which at mid and high frequencies is easier to do. Low frequencies are very, very hard to absorb. It takes very specifically tuned bass traps, very difficult. So usually I tell people that if you have that reflective wall, treat that wall with absorption for mid and high frequencies, or treat it with diffusion panels in order to scatter the low frequency energy so it doesn't come back as this perfect reflection, which is what wreaks havoc. So,
Linda, last question, and this is a quick question. You mentioned that our community is really good at the technology and the engineering and development side of things. We might lack a little bit sometimes from an architectural and design standpoint and acoustical design as well. Where do you recommend people start, maybe from who have that electrical expertise, but maybe want to start learning a little bit more about the audio side of things?
Well, the good place is you could take one of my acoustic workshops when I'm here at InfoComm. There's a lot of information about this out even in the internet to find out about this. So it's really, just knowing this problem exists, it's great to go into a project where you can easily identify this problem, you understand what's causing this problem, and then you also understand how to treat it. You can either treat acoustically, or you can carefully select the position of your speakers so that they don't aim straight at a wall. You can cant them down a little bit and just keep that reflection from happening.
Well, Linda, thank you for your expertise, and thank you for joining us in the classroom today. We hope you have a great rest of the show. I'll tell you what, one thing I could use going through the rest of the show is a nice hot cup of coffee is what I need, which actually was the catalyst for a lot of the conversations that we had in our next video. Check it out.
Hey, Kirsten, thank you so much for sitting down and talking with me at Coffee Talk.
You're welcome. I'm excited to be here.
Fantastic. So tell me a little bit about yourself, your company. Tell me a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, so my name's Kirsten Gibson. I'm with Reach Media Network. We are a digital signage software company, so CMS. And I'm our Executive Vice President of Sales and Marketing and have been with the company almost 11 years.
11 years.
That's
a good chunk of time. And now how are you managing with this ridiculous Las Vegas heat? It is astronomically hot.
I will say I prefer dry heat.
Yeah.
So for me, I prefer Vegas over Orlando. But, we did, our team stayed at Circa last night as a group, and we did the stadium swim, which was very nice after a long day.
It's a stadium swim?
It's like a big TV.
Okay.
By their pool, and it has all sports.
Oh, that is so cool. Okay, so I'm gonna have to take a look.
You're gonna have to check it out.
All right, so now I have to come, and then I'll definitely do it when it cools down a little bit. But that sounds like so much fun.
Yeah.
Okay, adding that to the list. Okay, so random question. So yes, you've been to InfoComm before.
Yes.
So I know the show floor just opened today.
Yep.
If you had a theme song that could be playing as you first entered onto the show floor, what song would be playing as soon as you got on the floor?
Oh man, I'm trying a Pitbull song.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Can't Stop Me Now. There you go. With Zach and I love Zach Brown Band.
Okay.
There you go.
I like that. You would have a little combination of the two.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's totally appropriate. So I know, I pack a lot. So.
Don't even get me started.
How many suitcases did you pack?
So I brought 3 bags, 1 big suitcase, 1 small suitcase, duffel, and then my backpack and a purse.
Okay.
So
I thought I was bad.
Everybody knows this. It's whatever, and my big bag usually is over 50 pounds, but it was 47 this time.
Oh my gosh. So what is in your InfoComm survival kit? Everybody has one. What keeps you going that you just can't leave at home and you must bring with you to InfoComm?
Well, tennis shoes.
Yes.
So I've switched my shoes out, I think 3 different times today, 4 different times actually now.
Okay.
Yes. Hairbrush, because when it's hot out, especially my hair is naturally curly. So hairbrush and water.
Okay.
Water's a big one.
It's one of those things I just forget to drink water.
Yes.
You're on the show floor and you're just running from booth to booth, or you're talking to somebody. You're dry and you're parched.
That's the only time I drink water, but I always have one with me. Well, I guess it's Mountain Dew right now. But.
Okay. Mountain Dew is really good.
Diet Mountain Dew.
Oh yes.
Yes.
I'm here with you. I haven't had one of those in
Energy.
a while. You need that.
Yes.
And sometimes water just doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the taste of water. Anyways, that's a whole different topic.
Liquid IV.
I get it from my mother. Oh yes.
Yes.
That's in my survival kit.
And I would say here in Vegas, Liquid IV is probably a must.
Absolutely. Yes. The Liquid IV, then you get your emergency.
Yep.
There's so many other, and if worst things worse, they have those IV drips too, just in case you're dehydrated.
If you have time.
True. Who has that during InfoComm? Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me, and enjoy the rest of your time too.
Definitely, you too.
All right.
Good job, Sam. That was fantastic. Love that segment. You should get your own series, I reckon.
I think I should. I'm going to talk to our production people. I think we've been boosting them up enough. Maybe I'm getting on their good side.
Oh, that was your hidden agenda.
I have no idea what you got to do. Yes, we need some more coffee talk. Are you able to do that?
What? Coffee talk.
Coffee talk. Yeah.
There we go. I could be on the show.
The accents this man is able to replicate.
Not Elvis, apparently.
No, yeah, we'll leave that one on the back burner. Next on our show, we have the pleasure of chatting with Jeff Day from Leon Speakers. Jeff, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, goodness. It is great to be here. Wow. Love it.
And actually, before you jump into your first question, when we were watching that segment, Jeff said he's got his own walk-on music.
He did.
So,
I do.
What are you choosing? What's it going to be?
So I got two.
Two.
You know, the default is The Walker by Fitz and the Tantrums, but I got to go back to the acoustic edition 2013.
Right, okay.
So, I mean, I like the hyped up version, but my other secondary for energy, Seven Nation Army, Jack White, White Stripes. He's a Detroit guy. I love my Detroit.
Big
my
time.
gosh.
Oh, man, amazing.
And this is the best place to do it. You could have all the audio visual coming on when you like enter through the doors.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's incredible. And you know what? The boxer Anthony Joshua, who hails from my county in the UK, he's used that, and people have kind of replaced the words instead of dun, 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 Anthony Joshua. They just sing the words Anthony Joshua, and that's what he has for his walk-on music. Gets everyone
it's perfect.
Absolutely crazy. It's
for
great.
Everything.
Yeah, I can imagine switching that with Jeff Day. That'd be
I could totally see that happening. Yeah, I guess we can't talk about this all. I mean, I could talk about this all day. So
yeah. I think other questions.
Fine. So I know you were recently on the board of AVIXA. Tell us a little bit about what you were doing with us.
Well, my term on the board was 2015 to end of 21. So I served my 2-year term, and then I was an officer for a number of years, and I was the chair of the board during 2020. So it was the year that we went virtual, and it was great. I mean, it was a hard time. It was a very difficult navigation, generally speaking, but the leadership at AVIXA is amazing, and my time on the board was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. So the camaraderie and the friendships, remain today, which is awesome.
Did you have any trouble from any of the staff? I know Dave Labuscus can be a bit pesky sometimes.
Dave was particularly difficult. No, Dave is a dear friend. Are you kidding? Yeah, we used to wrestle. We'd punch each other, sit next to each other. Exactly.
Well, he's coming on the show tomorrow, so he'll have his right to reply.
And awesome. what the audience doesn't know, that he's actually right there looking at us, and he has no chance to say anything or refute anything that
exactly.
you say,
I just want to be Dave's brother. I want to just hang out with him all the time. Oh, wait, he's going to storm the stage.
Oh, no.
So this is live TV.
Yeah.
We are not
anything can happen.
It wasn't the guy before us on WWE. It's like we were not. This is on stage. This is absolutely happening.
He could broadcast the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, and we're.
Oh no, he really is.
Oh, no,
I hear you. This guy.
Here he is.
This is
right
what
there,
happens.
Folks.
Live television.
Superstars right here.
Right there.
Oh, man.
David Labusky said making an early appearance.
Live on AVIXA TV.
Right? So that's it
I just
for our
wrestled
show.
the CEO of AVIXA. That is awesome.
Video evidence as well.
Oh, my goodness. Well, to keep that energy going.
Wait, what are we here to do again?
I don't even know anymore. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Good night.
Oh, I love it. It's perfect.
Oh, my gosh. So in addition to wrestling with our CEO, you've also continued to stay involved with AVIXA, and you're teaching a lot of education classes. So can you just tell us a little bit, provide us an overview of what you were teaching here at InfoComm, and if there was anything interesting, any discussion points that you want to share with our audience?
Having served on the board, I was always very grateful for the people who poured in hours of volunteering time. So this year I really embarked to try to do something I'd never done before, which is to do something on the education track. And so I submitted 2 abstracts. One was art and audio in the modern boardroom and meeting spaces, and the second one was all about the revolution of multi-camera collaboration studios. So boardrooms are becoming studios, and that's something that's really fascinating to us. But it was great. I love the idea of coming to InfoComm to learn. And it's not just about what you see here in the exhibits, but it's actually a chance to interact with professionals in all walks and varieties. So that was a first for me, and I really enjoyed it.
Fantastic. And I'd really like to speak to you a bit about your day job as well. So Leon is where you're working at the moment. And I know we spoke previously about style leader companies, which is something you were quite passionate about. So I want to know, based on that, how important it is to reflect our humanity and culture, for example, in corporate design.
Yeah, if you think about your livable space, there's something that we refer to as style consciousness, style awareness. When you walk into somebody's space, you're going to see pictures and photography, paintings, selection of couch colors and throw pillows and paint on your walls, and that is a reflection of self. It's also a reflection of culture. And in the modern meeting space, it requires us to be much more conscious and aware of what's going into that space. And too often we're finding that we will put a TV on a wall and maybe match with a camera and we run away. What we're looking for is an opportunity to elevate the style consciousness and awareness. And it's happening in an industry that's very closely connected to ours, and that's interior design and architecture. So that's where a lot of those decisions are made and being driven. And when those two groups come together, you can build some of these absolutely beautiful, spectacular spaces.
Great. And speaking about those spaces, I know a lot of companies are really working towards bringing their employees back to the office. So what are you starting to see in terms of designing spaces that when drawing people back to the office post-pandemic? What are you seeing there?
Among the many trends, it's a desire to have livable spaces. So less cube city, more what would be a hospitality or even a residential luxury feel. So these working spaces where we have couches and where we have almost like a living room environment. And in other places it would be, things like objects of interest, or where we're using more aesthetically pleasing things to create a more creative environment. And when you have creative environments, you have the best ideas coming out on the table. And so people want to go to a space that inspires. This is not about playing ping pong. This is all about being in a place I feel comfortable and that I feel like I can do work. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're seeing a lot of companies do.
Right. I'm also really interested to know how important a consideration for your clients is well-being and considerations of neurodiversity and things like that as well in the design that they're after.
As far as neurodivergence is concerned, it's being able to embrace all of those aspects that go into design. So personalization is a really big part of that. And that includes not only your immediate workspace, but the spaces that you're co-collaborating in. And I think the other side of it is being able to have different modes and styles and places for communication. We can't just sit in one seat. We're going to move in a different room and in a different way of engaging. And that really was something that I explored pretty extensively in the multi-camera studio phenomena. Is we're going into conference rooms now that require multiple cameras to be able to give everybody not only an equitable position in the meeting, but an opportunity to feel like they can move, and they can just naturally meet.
Yeah.
And I think it's fair to say, I think a lot of customers or integrators, when it comes to AV technology or so, they're just looking for functionality, right? They really want to make sure it's working. But what are some of the challenges that you may be encountering when you face trying to convince customers or integrators to adopt a more aesthetic approach to AV?
Yeah, so this is the bottom line, is there is a business outcome connected to style consciousness and awareness. So what you would do in your home is illustrative of what you should do in your office. So to the integrator, you don't have to be an interior designer to have an opinion around matching objects. And that's something we do at Leon, is we're really focused on color, material, finish, and match. The other side of that is to the customer is that this is possible. So if you don't know it's possible, that's part of the challenge. And so I think it's incumbent on us as an industry to illustrate that we are relevant when it comes to style consciousness and awareness. It can be a developed skill.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, how do you balance this, the technical and artistic aspects of your
The
services?
biggest way to balance it is to provide integrative opportunities for it. So at Leon, we are artists and musicians, and we integrate our technology into art and into sculpture. So we think of things like framing TVs as a critical aspect of it is an artistic piece. I like to think of it as windows. You'd never put an 8-foot window up without considering its treatment. Yet we put up large TVs without considering its treatment. So the artistic opportunity here is to treat things and then to enhance it with colors, materials, and finishes. And I think that's one of the the biggest opportunities that are out there right now.
Yeah, totally agree. If people want to get hold of you and continue this conversation, as I'm sure they will, what's the best way for them to do so?
Well, the best way is go check us out at leonspeakers.com, and we'll see all of the innovations that we're doing there. LinkedIn is probably the best way to connect with me personally, or you can hit me up on email at jeff.day@leonspeakers.com.
Excellent.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. You have your opportunity to come in on Dave's segment tomorrow, so we'll keep that
please
open
do.
for you.
Yeah, I will be ready. No.
Thank you so much indeed for joining us,
Thank you
Jeff.
both. Thank you.
Now, next up, we join our colleague Mark Metzger as he met with James Salter to talk about all things AVer and what they're up to at InfoComm. Let's take a look.
Well, I'm joined now by James Salter. He's the
you so
SVP for AVer Information Incorporated. James, how are you doing today?
Mark, great. Nice to talk to you today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes just to chat with us a little bit about what AVer is going to be doing at InfoComm. But first, for those who might not be as familiar with your company, could it give me a little bit of background? What is AVer? What services do you provide for the AV industry?
AVer's been around for about 20 years. We've been in the industry for a while. We're an award-winning provider of education technology, healthcare, and video collaboration camera solutions that really focus on helping improve productivity and enrich learning. So in recent years, though, we kind of branched out beyond cameras. So we've developed and delivered other types of products to build more complete solutions and enhance collaboration with things like camera switching and voice tracking appliances, audio built into more of our products, as well as new exciting speakerphone solutions. And so we're focused on a broad set of AV solutions. But the other thing with AVer is we partner with the biggest brand names in the industry to help enhance collaboration experiences with partners in audio, content sharing, and video conferencing platforms. So I'm proud to say that we're one of the select few vendors in the Microsoft Teams certification program as well. And that helps ensure your devices are the most compatible with Teams rooms. And in addition, we offered Zoom certified cameras for those camera customers who standardize on Zoom rooms. You can also find many of our cameras with NDI built in. So all the big brand names you'd expect that help with video collaboration, we're involved with those. All in all, we have a great story to tell with a camera for every room and every kind of scenario that you might need, and even offer OEM or ODM services. So we can even build or customize a camera for you if for some reason you can't find one in our set of offerings.
Well, and those collaborative tools are always going to be a big pull for many people at InfoComm, coming from education settings or facility settings as well. So really looking forward to seeing the full suite. What else can people expect from AVer at InfoComm this year?
Yeah, well, I always look forward to InfoComm. It's the biggest show in North America for us to showcase our AV solutions. We're always looking to make improvements. As head of marketing, I always want to make sure it's a bigger, better experience for our customers and our partners there, enhance interactivity. So we're going with some fun because it's Vegas and going with a little bit more of a Las Vegas theme. So we have some fun themed games in store for our booth visitors this time around, along with some new product announcements and, of course, our interactive demo stations with our product experts.
Yeah, get over to the Central Hall and be sure to check that out. And I'll be sure to do the same. Talk to me a little bit about what are some of those product announcements that you all have coming up.
There's so many of them, I can't probably name them all on this interview, but we're going to see our latest innovations for all size rooms and collaboration spaces. So we just have too many product names to mention here, but I'll go through the high level. We have our huddle room and small enterprise grade meeting room cameras. We'll have some new medium conference room cameras with speakerphone, as well as something very exciting for conference room audio that you'll just have to see and hear for yourself. So just leave that there with that as far as audio in the conference room. And beyond that, we have our Pro Grade line of products. We have our Pro AV, PDZ, and AI auto tracking cameras. So AI built into all of these cameras to help with the movement. And we also have our Matrix tracking box that helps with voice tracking and switching, as well as our latest medical grade cameras for connected health audiences, or if you're in a university and you have a teaching program for hospitals, we have solutions there for telehealth, virtual nurse, and remote patient monitoring use cases. So we've got a full gamut of solutions for interactivity and collaboration from enterprise, government, higher education, medical, and beyond. So it should be a lot of fun.
Remind us again, so Central Hall, but which booth number in particular can we come and find you?
Yeah, so look where all the fun and excitement is happening at booth C8371 in the Central Hall, and we can't wait to see you.
just a few booths down, I think, from the technology innovation stage. So, James, thank you so much for giving us a little preview of what we can expect. I'm looking forward to seeing you in Las Vegas here very soon.
Thanks, Mark. You too. See everybody in Las Vegas.
Well, thank you, Mark, for another great interview. We really appreciate that. And Ben, I can't believe this show is over.
I know. We've got one more show to do tomorrow. We've already got 5 in the can. It's been amazing working here with all the team. And you saw earlier in the show before about all the sponsors that have helped us put the booth together, and it's just run so smoothly and been working with such a great team. Can't believe it's almost done.
Absolutely, I know, and I've just been loving watching the video feed and just all the things that Ross Video and all of our sponsors have helped with just to excel at AVIXA TV. It's phenomenal, and it's just really excited doing it.
Yeah, it's been incredible. Should we have a look at what's coming up on tomorrow's show?
Absolutely, let's go ahead and do that. So tomorrow we'll be talking with AVIXA's very own CEO, Dave Lebuscus, to get his insights on InfoComm 2024 and discuss the other exciting shows that AVIXA has coming up. We'll also talk with Holoplat and 7 Sense about their work on the Sphere here in Las Vegas and some of their other fascinating projects. We'll check in with Leon Pretler and Sanj Sarwati, who have been holding down the fort at the AVIXA Exchange live stage right next door to us. And we'll hear about the great conversations happening there and explore ways to keep the InfoComm discussions and momentum going long after the show. So definitely don't miss our last show tomorrow morning.
If only for the fact that you can come and see if Jeff Day is going to storm in on Dave Lebuscus' interview and kind of have his comeback. So yeah.
If that's the only reason, hey, as long as we get you tuning in, we appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly. So come back and see if that does happen, as well as all the other great stuff we've got for you, and we'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Wonderful. Have
Bye.
a good one.
Welcome to ICANN, where innovation meets professional video production. Since 2005, we've been at the forefront of equipping creatives and professionals with the tools they need to bring their vision to life. From LED lights and teleprompters to PTZ cameras, tripods, and monitors, ICANN is the trusted name across television stations, production and corporate studios, educational institutions, houses of worship, and beyond. Introducing our revolutionary power over Ethernet lights. Imagine illuminating your set without the need for traditional AC power outlets. These cutting-edge lights are not only powered, but also DMX controlled over a single Cat6 Ethernet cable. Discover more about our innovative products and how they can transform your production. Visit us at iCannCorp.com.
What's next in wireless? Meet the Shure Microflex Wireless Next 2. It's a snap to set up, and it's perfect for all your spaces, like this, and yeah, even that. And with a variety of available mics, everyone can hear and be heard. So what's next in wireless? The all-new all-in-one MXW Next 2.
The Radian Video Wall Processor delivers large-scale visualization for mission-critical control rooms and command centers. It's modular and scalable, enabling users to create combinations of up to 64 screens from hundreds of inputs. Radian supports video from all sources, including computers, cameras, IP streams. With Radian, users can monitor and control numerous assets simultaneously across an open canvas. The ability to manage unlimited windows across multiple screens and drag and drop content in real time anywhere on the wall offers users maximum flexibility. The Radian Video Wall Processor from Blackbox. Scalable, flexible, and secure for any control room or command center video wall application. Learn more at blackbox.com/Radian.
The industry has evolved over the years. Analog to digital, isolated to network, server-based to cloud-based, but fundamental pains persist. Rolling out hundreds of rooms quickly and reliably is difficult, time-consuming, and expensive. Complex equipment frustrates staff, managers, and executives alike. The recent shift to hybrid offices has organizations considering replacement of outmoded systems. They're looking for simple, reliable, flexible, secure, and easy-to-budget video conferencing solutions. It's time for a totally new approach. It's time the AV industry met the Internet of Things. Introducing Conference Room as a Service, subscription-based products and services only from Wesco. A subscription that scales and works for your business. Together, with your preferred AV installer, we help you choose the right size system for your meeting spaces, small rooms, medium-sized rooms, and large conference rooms. Once you've chosen the size room you want to deploy, choose Zoom or Microsoft Teams and add options like bring your own device and a monitor if needed. Then choose how many rooms you want to add to your subscription. It's that easy. Once your AV integrator has installed and activated your equipment, your Conference Room as a Service subscription has you covered with advanced replacement, an industry-leading warranty, live 24/7 world-class help desk support, and a portal for remote monitoring and service tickets. With this service, all rooms are online and ready to go once connected to the network. It's never been easier to deploy, monitor, and evolve your workplace technologies, all at an affordable price with easy payments. Conference Room as a Service subscription-based products and services, only from Wesco. Simple, reliable, flexible, secure, easy to budget.
AV Gear is the one-stop solution for all your professional audio-visual equipment needs and a modern alternative for selling, trading, or liquidating your pre-owned audio-visual and entertainment technology. Not only are we a leading national brand in premium pre-owned equipment sales, we specialize in helping businesses across the globe sell, trade in, or liquidate their used audiovisual and production gear with no hassle. When you have any pro audiovisual gear that's taken up space or not being used, or you're looking to upgrade your systems and update your technology, you don't want to deal with the hassle and the costly and time-consuming process to get things done. Whatever that scenario might look like, AV Gear can help. Our team has over 50 years of real-world pro audiovisual and production experience, and we understand your needs and challenges when buying or selling your equipment. That's why it's so important to work with a company that truly cares about its clients and partners. And we work very hard to serve as if we were an extension of your own company, with your best interests as our top priority. Our business revolves around the buying and selling of professional audio, broadcast, lighting, cameras, projection, lenses, accessories, and so much more. We have pioneered revolutionary, flexible service programs to help you seamlessly reach your goals so that you and your team can continue to focus on what you do best while we do the rest. Regardless of the type or size of business that you are, regardless of where you find yourself with anything Pro AV, we can accommodate you beyond expectations. Whether you're looking to buy or sell your gear, trade it in, upgrade, consign, or liquidate, AV Gear is your one-stop Pro AV equipment solution, helping you save time, money, and space while bringing value to you and your gear in every way.